Hey everyone, and welcome to Limited Appeal. Today I noticed that I have never drafted a Noggle the Mind in Lorwyn Eclipsed. Don't ask me how, but I don't have any in my inventory or my collection, so I must have never drafted one. Anyway, today we're going to be doing some more Lorwyn Eclipsed drafts, Premier Draft specifically. I find it, there we go. I have been enjoying the pick 2 drafts, but today is going to be another Premier draft because that seems to be the thing that will actually fill the tables sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to find people to queue up for the pick 2 drafts right now, so we're going to be Premier instead. Alright, first pick Kinbinding. We've never done this before. It's insta-lock, easy peasy, no question. I think if you've watched this channel enough, you'll know that I complain all the time about never having done a Kinbinding deck. We are officially a Kinbinding deck. It doesn't matter what happens next. It doesn't matter what Estebro passes to me. Or any of these other players. I am doing something that involves my deck being white. I feel like Kinbinding works really well in Merfolk, just because you have a lot of things like the Sky Swimmer that pop out multiple creatures per turn by themselves. Just these sort of like token generation advantage that they give you sometimes plays really, really nicely with Kinbinding. But obviously, basically any deck plays nicely with Kinbinding, so I'm not too worried about where we wind up. Eclipsed Kith, there you go. There's two things here that sort of line up with that. One would be the Preacher, and one would be the Kithkin. I think Eclipsed Kithkin is just like a nice conventional pick after grabbing Kinbinding. I don't know that there's anything else I would really pick here after taking Kinbinding. Like if we didn't have Kinbinding, maybe Blossom Bind, maybe no, it's probably the card we'd pick regardless of what our first pick was. Pack was kind of mediocre. And hopefully the mediocreness of that pack will lend to us getting the stuff that we need for Kinbinding. Okay, well that's unfortunately the exact opposite direction. Which is that we now have the Eclipsed Merfolk. So Pennant could be good here. Kinbinding does not come back with the Pendant. Spiral into Solitude works well as white removal. I think we take the Marrow because it's just better than everything else by a decent amount. And then maybe Blossom Bind, because that also works pretty well here. The Stoneback is okay. It's not like a great card or anything. Bloodline Bidding is interesting, but I'm not going to build a deck around that after we get Kinbinding. So maybe Blossom Bind and cross our fingers that we see some more Merfolk. I mean, we know at the very least that these two players are likely not in Merfolk if we wound up with the Eclipse Marrow and pick 3. And we also passed one pick 1, which is obviously a little unfortunate, but you know, what can you do? Okay, so Spinners is something that I could play in a blue-white deck. This pack also just kind of sucks. Dune Guard kind of fits in like a white-green build. The Distractor doesn't really fit anywhere with anything that we're doing. So like I feel like it could be the Dune Guard, it could be the Dagger, because Dagger kind of fits everywhere. But I kind of want to just cut the white and send the signal to get out of that color to everybody that I'm passing to right now. Assert Perfection at pick 6. Okay. And a Luminolus here too, which is not like an amazing card, but it's pretty decent in most decks, honestly. And a Bog Slither's Embrace. Like this was either the most stacked pack that's ever been opened, or nobody is in, in green and black. Okay. I mean, glad we took the Dune Guard now. Not really sure what we're doing. Kith Keeper at pick 7. What is going on? Do we do like all the colors with Kinbinding? I don't know. Is that a thing that can work? Or do I just take the Percher? Because I can play it no matter what I wind up doing. Passing the Kithkeeper here feels like really bad to me. I feel like there's things we could potentially do with it. Even though we didn't take the Luminolisk, but I mean, I wouldn't have taken the Luminolisk out of that pack anyway. Okay, this pack kind of just sucks for everything that we're currently trying to do. Cavalry is seeing at pick 8 is really weird as well. And even though it is an elf and it pumps other elves, it also just kind of works in any green-white deck. Nothing of interest wheeled, so I think the Stompling is something we can play. It looks a little bit more likely that we're going to wind up being like green-white, kind of like big dudes-ish, just going for value creatures. Seeing that red elemental wheel is interesting. Like, we could be pushing elementals. Like, I think it's probably open. It feels like it's open, despite the fact that we haven't seen any good red removal. We've only seen, like, the sort of, like, mid-tier red creatures. It's not enough for me to diverge from having a Kinbinding in my deck, because that just feels better. So here's the thing about Marrow Sky Swimmer. I don't actually need to be playing Merfolk to make it work. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd be drum. The problem is there's no good white cards here for us either. So like we could take the Marrow and see if we get better white-green this pack. Sorry, white-blue this pack, which I don't see. Which I mean, honestly, it probably will happen because it was cut pretty hard. But I think the Sky Swimmer works even if we aren't a Merfolk deck. Nuisance now, huh? Okay. Nuisance, Shine Striker, if we want to go. Like, we could make Vivid work. Maybe. With, like, a green base. But then maybe Prism Basher is just better. I don't know. The thing is, I don't do Vivid enough to really make this choice here. But there's literally nothing in green that I want other than the Assert and the Prisma Basher. And there's nothing in white at all in this pack. Obviously, the Nuisance is great if I want to play blue, but that's not what I'm doing right now. I think we just take the Basher, honestly. Our colors are kind of... Okay, you know what? We're just going to play all the things right now, I think. Oh, this is crazy. No, I'm not. I'm just doing this. This is what we're doing. I've decided. We're just going to play green, white, blue. We're not specifically Merfolks. We're just like green, white, blue value. There's just been too many good cards for us to like do anything else with here. See, this is tough actually. Because like objectively, I think Gathering Stone works really well in basically all decks in this format, except for the deck that we have right now. And obviously Vivid decks in general. But I don't know what we pick, but I think we pick it. Like I don't know what we picked when we played it. So here's the thing. Do we go for the Vivid payoff and take the Shimmer Creep in this sort of all over the place deck? Or do we double down on like just being 3-color good creatures and take the Kithkin Knight? It's hard to say. And I don't have enough time to make this pick. So I think we'll just take the Outrider. Because like we still don't necessarily have to play blue. Like we only have this in blue that I really care about. Admittedly, we're not getting a whole lot of green or white here either, which is ridiculous to me because I feel like we didn't really pass much in those colors either. So I don't know what made our draft mates pick them up, but I think that's probably the best card for us here. Literally, the Blood Crypt, like, basically wheeled. I mean, obviously we didn't open it, but this is weird. This is so weird to me. Oh, but the Overgrown Tomb literally did wheel. So, this doesn't even help me that much because we don't have anything that we wanted. And the Boulder Dash wheeled? What is this? Is everybody in green, blue, white? Like, it didn't feel that way in the first pack, but suddenly everyone's doing the same thing, I guess. What? Pick 11? Pick 11? It's crazy. Hold on. Do we do like a... Do we have enough to make this actually work? Now I wish I took the Shine Striker. Because we could like do like a Vivid Elemental thing. But then I get a Champion of the Clock. Okay. You know what? Here's what I'm doing at this point. I don't know what I'm doing, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm just taking the best white, blue, and green cards, and anything else absurd we get past, and we'll just see what we can make work with it. Like, the problem is we also don't have mana fixing right now, right? So these guys just... Sorry, this should be... Or this should... the Unwelcome Sprite can save me. Yeah, this is tough. That would have been a nice Champion of the Path. I think we just take the Evolving Wilds here because there's nothing amazing in green, white, or blue. And we do need at least some mana fixing if we can get our hands on it. But this is a crazy red pack. Crazy. Another Kithkeeper. Travelers, yeah. So I did point out that like red was potentially open in pack 1. It didn't feel like it was going to be this open. I don't want another Kithkeeper, at least not while we're still hovering in between being aggressive and Vivid. Blue, green, yeah. That, I mean, Spiral into Solitude would be nice to pick up here as well, but the Rhyme Contract is so good. I could really use like a Wickermaw to fix my mana, or a Druid. Druid to fix my mana would be really nice too. We're going to count up our cards later and see if Eclipse Marrow and Eclipse Kithkin are playable here. Lissalana doesn't do much for me. There's so much quality removal in red here. The Pummeler is maybe playable in this deck. I don't know. We still really need some fixing, but we already have an Embrace, and I'm not playing 2 of them. I'm committed to this at this point. See, this is what's so tough. The Pummeler is just so much better. You know what? We're going to get greedy. This entire draft has been greedy, so... The Rhyme Speaker is probably fun in this deck. We don't have that much at the top. Okay, what's our 2? We need 2 drops. Yeah, we need 2 drops. I want this, but I want the Informant more. I actually honestly might even want the Wickermaw more. Yeah, I think I want the Wickermaw more. What is going on? There can't be anybody drafting red at this table at this point. Like literally nobody is drafting red. Summit Sentinel I might have to play just because of our lack of 2 drops. It's absurd how open red is. But I have to play the Kinbinding. I have to do it. We've never had a chance to play it before. We've never opened one. We've never been given one. We've never seen one across however many drafts I've done. And I just, it's obligatory whether it's whether it's the wrong choice or not. What's the worst? This, okay, well, let's count up our Merfolk and Kithkin, right? So we have 6 Kithkin. We have 3 Merfolk, including the Eclipse Marrow. So the Eclipse Marrow ain't gonna cut it. The Gathering Stone can go too, because like I just don't think there's enough of anything to make this worthwhile, unfortunately, even though it's an amazing card. And then my last sort of choice here in my mind is like Summit Sentinel or Reluctant Dune Guard, because they both don't do that much for us. The other direction would be dropping Prisma Basher or Kithkeeper, but I think there are going to be things we can reliably cast. And while we're not like super heavy Vivid, we do have a horribly messy base of colors here. Yeah, I think we probably ditch the Dune Guard. Just because I want to have a 2-drop to sort of get us to the later game. I don't think we want 3 planes. I think we want at least 4, especially if we're going to be paying 2 for Kinbinding. We basically have 6 white sources now. It's a turn 5 drop potential. Yeah, I think it's probably not like exactly what you want. I don't. I could pull up the calculator for this, but I'm not going to. I kind of expect this deck to pop away. I mean, we have all of the colors that we're going to play. Something. Green, blue elementals. I will obviously block if they swing in. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do here. I really need to hit a land so that we can get out the Sky Swimmer next turn. Or the Outrider, whichever. I think I'll probably... Let's see what they discard. It'll be a land, right? I think I trade with the Peddler here. I don't want them to keep looting at this point. Like, the downside, though, is, like, we could obviously just kill this next turn. But then I don't have anything else to play next turn. That actually worked out well, I think. So this... Okay, so it's Ward 2. Do we get greedy? Like, how many creatures can they play next turn, right? Because we could play with the Sky Swimmer here. And then hit this for 3 next turn with the Assert. Or we could play this and be able to hit it for 4. And I kind of want to play out the Outrider more. I think it's... But then if they have any... But then, yeah, but then if they have removal, they've played it on that. And, Or I could just kill it now and spend my turn doing that, and maybe that's better. Feels weak, but I also don't want to like get surprised by something and have that get out of control here. Because no matter what, we can play our 4-drop next turn because we have the land for it now. Seems like a... I mean, I guess they're just digging for land, but it still sucks for them like to lose that. They currently can't block the Outrider, so let's just play the Outrider out. They're searching for land. Maybe they have removal and they'll remove it. They'll probably remove it, but they also need to find land before like they can do anything too crazy. Okay, I mean not land, but close. Pretty close. I just wish I could use my mana better here. Like, if I could play this and something else, it would feel good, but I can't. I'm 1 mana short of being able to play this and dropping the Sky Swimmer. Yeah, right. Yeah, because that would be 4. But getting the farmer down also really helps me in the long road, in like the long term. So, I don't know. I think we'll just play out the Sky Swimmer because it's better. And we played out pre-combat to pump the Outrider. The other, like, sort of line of thought here is we could hold on to the Sky Swimmer for if we draw the Kinbinding. But right now we have no white sources. Okay, yeah. Hawkmare is a good card, and I can't currently deal with it, but yep, that is one of the worst things that could happen to me, I think. Hawkmare is very, very frustrating because like it's going to get them back into the game really quickly with the extra card draw there, unfortunately. Hawkmare is just a really good card. We've seen a good number of we've seen quite a few good cards for our opponent so far. How many colors do we have right now? 3. So what's the best thing we can do with Prism Basher right now? We have a flyer for it. But obviously they can tap whatever they want down with Hawkmare whenever they want. They haven't spent it drawing all of the cards yet. This is rough, man. This is so rough. If we take the land, then we can Prisma Bash next turn, and that feels pretty strong, because I don't think they're going to leave Hawkmare mana up. Conversely, if we take the Stompling and we draw another source next turn, then we have a even bigger Prisma Basher, and I feel like I need to be greedy right now, so I'm just going to take this and play it. They'll... Oh, okay, you're going to do that. I was going to say they'll probably drop Hawkmare, but I guess that makes more sense. Yeah, they have so much card draw, but they're still stuck on 3 actual lands and a Druid. So, like... we can still just get there on the back of a land. A land will let us Prisma Bash in for a whole bunch here. If they haven't, like, removed more things this turn. And I don't think they will. Like, I think that they have to draw cards here or play something out. Because I don't think them holding back the Hawkmare to tap stuff down is good enough for them. Blossom Bind, okay. Like, I mean, that's still good for me, honestly. They could have a counterspell here. They could actually have double blue. Like, they have a Wickermaw and a Druid, right? But I think at the end of the day, what they're probably going to do is just tap something down. Oh. Okay, sure. Still lethal. You gotta chump 2 of them. And then I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. I guess you don't have to chump 2 of them. You probably should, because you're going to 1 and I have a Trampler. I guess you can tap it down, but then I still have 3 attackers, so I don't know. Obviously, this depends on what you have in your hand and what you here, but Tristan is not probably... I guess it is good enough if you gain life from it. But Tristan only gains life on the front, right? Yeah. So obviously they have to tap this down with Hawkmare. And there's no good attack here because, like, if they can just block whatever. They're going to block everything, and I don't have any good way to, like, get extra damage through. So no attacks. If we had hit land there, it would have actually been better. Keeper is basically just guaranteed GG. But forcing them to use their Hawkmare to tap also feels pretty good. I mean, I think that they should potentially be flipping their Tristan just to get a little bit more life on their turn. On their next turn. But they still have a 6/6 Trampler and a 3/3 Trampler. And okay, so they can tap stuff down with Lochner. God darn it. This is fine. Everything's fine. Oh man. Oh man, my mana base. My mana base. Alright, well, if we ever hit a Plains or a White Source, Wickermaw would do it too. I mean, Wickermaw would be a turn slower, but... so we could attack with the Watcher here. And basically just kill whatever blocks it. Which doesn't seem great either. I think that's fine, though. Just trading with the Tristan seems good to me. Well, we're not even trading. Killing the Tristan seems good. Or eating, like, removal or something from them. I'm surprised that they chose to draw there, actually. I would think that they'd want to hold on to the tap next turn, but, you know, they could have another, like, Bog Slither's Embrace or something. Those guys from me. Yeah, that's pretty good for them. Pretty good. Come on, Plains or any land will basically just win us the game in the turn. So there's no good attack for me. Like, I could attack with the Watcher, and they would just trade with the Lochmere, which actually isn't even that bad. I think maybe I just swing in it. Maybe I drop this. Because the thing is, if I hit land, I'm going to win. And playing it like this is going to force them to draw a card with the Lochmere here. If that's how they want to block, right? They could also just... So those... If this attacks, they have the ability to block. Yeah, there's still no good, like, full team attack. There will be if I ever, like, draw the gosh darn Kinbinding. I also find it interesting that they chose to draw before this, but I think what they probably do here is I'm just going to trade this for Lochmere, and I think that's fine. Or they do it like that, and that's also fine. We want them to just have less things on the board. Like, that's the goal of the attack here. So that we can just hopefully eventually go wide. Again, the goal is to go wide. So, I mean, in theory, this is me winning, depending on what they have. So let's go to combat. I don't know. No, we're going to wait a turn. I think we wait a turn here. I don't know if it's right to wait a turn, but... Like, we just get boned really bad by any removal. Playing it like this lets us play around some of that. Okay. Well, they did not have it anyway. But I feel like our hand is just so strong, and our opponents suck it too, that the odds of us getting blown out by making that attack feels like it's perhaps not worth it. Alright, I think that queue took almost 2 minutes, but we made it. You didn't have to make it through, but I did. I had to suffer. We have our land. We have a 3 and a multiple 4 drops and a 5 drops. So yeah, I feel like this is really good. It would obviously be better on the play, but everything would be. I think we might need to grab another Plains in this deck, though. That is something I am sort of feeling after our last game. Getting Kinbinding. Like, what's the point of forcing Kinbinding if we're just going to not play Kinbinding? This is a horrible thing to see on turn 2 when I can't deal with it. Especially if they play, like, anything that has an ETB effect here. Okay, that's interesting. We're just going to bounce it, but... So obviously they didn't have any big play there. For 5 mana, so hopefully they don't have something big for 6 mana, but that's obviously, like, there are big 6 mana plays in elementals, so. Three, two, yeah. You certainly have a board. I don't think it really matters which of these we play, but I mean, we could also, we don't have a kit. Oh, we do have a kit. So we could wait, see if they attack, and then try to get them with champion. I think that's what we'll probably do. First of all, see what the big play is. If they have like a Sunderflock or something, obviously. This kind of plays around it a little bit. Not that you can really play around a Sunderflock, but... yeah, I'm not feeling so good anymore. Sky Swimmer. Just very unfortunate that our only Kithkin is stuck under this now. So we could play that, we could play this, we could play... How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't even double this out next turn, so... Also, do we attack here? Probably not, right? Maybe we do. Maybe we do attack here. Because they don't have any, like, great attacks on their turn. Like, obviously they can drop a Boulder Dash and then blow me out, and I probably cry myself to sleep tonight. But I think our blocks here are fine. Like, if they attack with everything, we have options. If they kill my Sky Swimmer, we take a bit of damage. I want to get some damage in right now, even though our champion could potentially stay back and block, but... because we're going to have a super awkward next turn as well, unfortunately. Unless we draw Kinbinding. Oh, they did have removal for it. Cool, okay. So we take some damage this turn, which is fine. We get punished a little bit. Because, like, they have so few cards in their hand, I wasn't really... I didn't feel like we really needed to play around removal that much, but here we are. They can still play something that costs 4 mana this turn, if it's an elemental. Ooh, gross. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we'll lose. Actually, that's a really good draw for us. I didn't think about my mana, though. I probably should have thought a bit more about my mana. Yeah. I misplayed that. I should have played out the cavalry. If in my head, I had 1 more mana for some reason. Because then, obviously, we could have doubled on this turn. But now we can't, because we'll lose a blocker if we double. Do we get the 6/5 guy coming down here now? Obviously, I will trade with this Sky Swimmer for sure here. Because I have decent blocks on everything else after this. What are you looking at my cards for? You have one card in your hand. What could it be? Is it like... Is it removal? Ooh, it's Feed the Flames. Interesting. Okay. Then that's really not good. That is really bad for me. Yeah, we're just racing at this point, basically. Do not want land. They're likely, statistically, to draw land at this point. They have basically... What is this? What is this world? They're statistically likely to draw land, and then they draw 2 freaking cards that are not land and also amazing for them? While I'm over here flooding out. Why do I even speak? 26 cards, the top 14 cards of their deck have only had 4 land in them. I can't even play this out right now. And basically what they do this turn, if I think they have enough mana for it, they can hit me with the Sky Swimmer, play out the Flock Imposter, and then replay the Sky Swimmer. So then they just have lethal next turn. I mean, they don't even need to do it that way. Like, they can just play this, and actually they have to play it on their turn. It's gone after that. Maybe they bounce their Zealot here. Maybe they bounce nothing. Oh, they are doing the Sky Swimmer. Interesting. I think the danger with this play, though, is that if I top deck like a Prisma Basher, I potentially win, I think. Would Prisma Basher win? Yeah, it has. No, it wouldn't. Okay, it doesn't matter because all I have is land. All I have is land. Our opponent is almost like statistically like more than 50-50 to draw land. Top decks 2 non-lands in a row. Cool beans. All right, at least the next queue was quick. We got all our colors again, and we have a curve. Of course, we can't go first. That would be asking too much in this format. It curves out at least. They only have a 1-drop. They have something they can play. Oh, we're dead. We're so dead. And you have another one? Oh man, we're so dead. We're like double, triple, quadruple dead. I think I have to Blossom Bind one of these. I like legitimately have to Blossom Bind one, and then I'll bounce something else next turn. Otherwise, I'm just taking like 6 damage next turn. That's crazy. Stalactite. Okay, at least they slowed down. We would have only taken 6 damage this turn if we didn't Blossom Bind. I guess we'll see what they do here. I do have a Kithkin. So it's just a question of like, if they play out something else that scares me, then I will. Okay, interesting. I would have probably equipped and attacked personally, but this does let this danger here is that they can now assert perfection me, my rhyme speaker, which would really suck. But I think I still have to play it out and just hope that they don't have removal for it. I'm sure they will. They have 5 cards and they haven't played. Like, I feel like they didn't have a better creature on turn 3 than the Stalactite Dagger. I feel like they have to have removal or something else that's interactive in their hand. Okay, yeah, that was like literally probably one of the worst things that could happen. This is fine. Everything is fine. I'm not worried. The thing is, like, I'm not worried, but like, we're in a very scary spot. Obviously. Yep. Are there any 1 mana white? Are there any tricks at 1 mana that I need to be worried about here? Or they're just gonna play another dude. That's fine, actually. That, however, is not fine. Okay, we're dead. They have a crazy Kinbinding deck, and they're not even attacking with them. Okay. They. Alright, do you have more removal? Because if they don't have more removal, I'm still probably just going to die. Because they will eventually draw removal. Is this the thing that gives like +2, +1, or whatever? +2, +1 to 2 creatures? If it's something else that I'm not thinking of, then I don't know. If it's the first strike thing, I don't care that much. Oh. That is cool. I mean, it's not, because they're just going to get their gift back next turn and fly over me again, but... their deck is so strong. Oh, why not? Draw some cards first before you make any choices. We lost to Flooding Out, and now we're losing to one of the craziest Kithkin decks I've played against in a while. Like, this is just such an absurd start. And the other thing about this as well is that I know I like to complain a lot about different things and not having them, but like, I have never, ever, ever seen more than one of these in a draft. I've never had the opportunity to have 2 of these in any draft that I'm aware of. I mean, that can actually work. Depending on how they play this. Like, we're still going to probably just lose to Everstrike's Gift because I can't keep dealing with flyers, but the issue here, though, as well, is that Champion of the Kraken is Flash, so they need to tap down, or else I can't really do anything too effective with it. Other than make it just, like, not attack me. So obviously right here what we can do is we can bounce the Kraken. And then we can... Actually, what we can probably do is this. And if they have a trick, they have a trick. And if they don't, then they just play out 2 creatures and get their Everstrike back. NBD. Yeah, and Scry. I forgot the part where they Scry as well. Gathering Stone. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just please whiff. I might be able to come back if I get an extra. Oh god, really? That's what you top deck? Really? I genuinely hate this game sometimes. Ah. I don't know what they even do with this, but it's going to suck for me. Clone and fight, sure. So because they killed the Disruptor, which is completely the wrong choice here, because they made a bad choice. I mean, unless they were thinking that I had Vivid, in which case, congrats, you saw like 10 steps ahead. This doesn't change the clock, but let's see what happens. So we play this out next turn, we get +2/+2, this is a 5, 6, 6. It's not enough, so we're just going to do that because this blocks more things, even though we're not going to need to block things because we're just going to lose. But yeah, why are you not getting Everstrike back? Do you not know that you can get it back? You must know that you can get it back. There's no reason not to attack here, right? Attacking here makes sense. Because presumably next turn they Everstrike, they must. And then I can still only only block one anyway. And this way I can potentially draw anything that blocks a flyer and live. Okay. Implementer, sure. That's not cool. Because now you actually have something to use the Everstrike with. Draw your cards, man. This Kithkin deck is just so good. I think our opponent has made some mistakes, though. That maybe in some world would have given us a chance at winning, but the just unfortunate reality is that we didn't draw what we needed. Everstrike's Gift is just so good. It's such a good card. Being able to just recur the ability to give yourself flying is so good. I've won so many games with that card. It's unfortunate that I have to lose to it like that, but I don't know. This is just, we've had some unfortunate games. When your opponent starts with 2 Kinsbale Aspirants, and then Pyrex strikes your Rhyme Speaker and your Blossom Bind, it's just, there's not a whole lot you can do. The opponent goes first, and this is my hand. I don't even care. We're going to keep it, and why can't I'm just realizing this now. Why have I haven't played first in any of these games so far in this entire draft. I've had I've not had the ability to go first. I need a forest, specifically. And, of course, you're playing a Spikeling. Ugh. Gross. One of the only things I can't block with the Archer. We also really need a white source, so... Yep. Obviously, I'm not going to block this, and we're just going to play out the Archer for the value. They have two like, this just attacks through their board right now. And I think that for like that reason, it's probably better to play out the Outrider of the Cavalry. This also is a better blocker for everything that's on the board right now. And mainly, I should have probably attacked first. I didn't really consider the fact that I'd be attacking before here. But obviously, I'm going to attack for 4 through a Tam. They're not going to block with the Tam. Now, if they have removal here, I'd take a little bit more damage, but I'm not super concerned about that either. And the God tier draw that we've been waiting all draft for would be a Plains, which is not a very good chance right now because we've burned one of the sources of it, which is Evolving Wilds, and we're going to only have 3 that we can naturally draw, so it's like 1 in 9, roughly. Ever so slightly worse than 1 in 9. What? 2 games in a row! 2 games in a row! 2 games in a row, and that's like the only thing we get burned for there. Like, if we had just played Cavalry instead, that wouldn't have happened. Oh, but do we attack? I think we do, right? I think we have to. Like, we could take a bunch of damage here. If they have another trick like the command. Does this kill enchantments? No, right? Ah, but come on. 2 games in a row we've played against Bridget's command. I guess this is like the turn where we basically find out, do you have an answer to Kinbinding? Okay, I mean, that's annoying, but I'm obviously just going to chump here. Do we just play out the Pummeler and make a wider board and not attack this turn? Or do we attack with this turn and then bounce and block? No, I think we just play out the Pummeler here. Make a big wide board. So no, I think we do attack here. We have 2 blockers. One of them has ward. They only have 4 mana. Just putting them to 5 seems better, especially when we give something trample next turn. So now they have 5 mana. But they'll still need a lot to really mess us up here. Another Bridget's command would probably do it. That would be really rough. Do you have like an Insert Perfection? Because that would be pretty good too. Come on, opponent. Play your cards. Take your turn. But yeah, between like... Oh, actually... That's gross. Gross. I hate that card too. That card's also stupid. So if I play this out and don't attack, why would you tap like that on attack? If I play this out, then why did it overtap? Okay, I overtap. If I do this, then I have Embrace up and I have the ability to play out a Disruptor. Oh no, I just have Lethal. Never mind. Forget me. I am the fool. I was thinking a turn in advance despite the fact that there wasn't another turn to think about, you know? Anyways, drawing Kinbinding there at the perfect time was obviously very lucky and very fortunate. It was, like I said, a 1 in 9 chance. We managed to hit. Because if we didn't hit, I think we'd probably just lose that game really quickly. Their board was better than ours for the most part, and they had the winnowing too, so like... we would have just been dead if we weren't making 1/1s to chump block every turn after that. And before that. Still not on the play somehow. This is tempting, but we can't keep it. Our first play is on turn 4, and we can't even cast our Kinbinding on turn 5. if we wanted to cast our Kinbinding on turn 5, it would require us to draw another land. This, on the other hand, is definitely keepable. Oh, I think we have to... This is... This is what we could do. I think we just drop you and... yeah. We want the land. I was gonna say we could drop like an island and just hope to draw land, and I think that's not wrong, but I also think it's probably just like playing it riskier than we need to, because the Dawn's Archer doesn't always do something for us. It's a good card, but I don't necessarily need it. Yeah, so this is gonna be fine, hopefully. Unless they do something crazy here with their extra mana on the play, because I can't be on the play ever. That's just not allowed. They did not do anything crazy with their extra mana. I'm always running the 2-drop on turn 3 instead, of course. Why not, right? Gross. Disgusting. Oh my god. Why am I playing against the stupidest decks that have ever existed in any format? This is gross. We specifically, I mean, we don't need an island. We would like an island, but I definitely think I need something. Like, the thing is, because there's nothing I can do about the Glister Baron. Really, just in this deck, I don't. Oh. Okay. Pick your card. No. My farmer. Why did I give you a card? Anyways, we'll lose again. This is like what's so interesting though about this format, right? It's like if we had been on the play in any of these games, I think there's a much better chance we could have won at some point. But now we're just so far behind in all of our games now because our opponent played a turn 4 Glister Baron and just attacked us for 6. There's nothing I can do about that, and we just drew another one anyway. Cool. So you are 2 right now. So I think we can just play out this and give ourselves a better board position and give us some extra health, because like best case scenario, this pumps up. I mean, of course they can play out another card and then everything changes. Like if they get a 3rd or 4th color, then it becomes a lot tougher for me to do anything. But based on the current board, which is all I can really play to right now, this seems like the best choice. But yeah, if they play out something else that's another color, then they can pump the Farrier up even more. And I will trade. I will definitely, obviously, trade these. It got me my life. Dagger, okay. The problem is I don't have a way to deal with cavalry right now at all. I guess they're going to pump the tree and attack with the cavalry. Oh no, they're just going to go all in on the cavalry entrance. Attack for 1 with the tree. What does that do for me? Having my own cavalry does almost nothing. Having a Prisma Basher might do something. I could even double block here, but I don't really see the point in that. Now this is some like very serious pressure. Because they don't have a good attack this turn either, unless they play something that isn't what we know they have. And now if we can top deck a plains here, that would be really good. So I guess we just start attacking with the Basher and the Sprite. And now if we ever draw plains, we basically just win. And again, stark contrast on the play versus the draw. If we were on the play, we would have already won. Okay, so that's one more color for them. This is going to be a +3/+3 now. And they have to be very careful with how they attack here. Because unless they have removal, I don't think they can even attack with the cavalry. So they don't. You're giving me perfect information. Yeah, you can't attack. I think they still. Okay, what's the best block? So we have 10 damage that they have to block. They have 5, 9, 13. So 10 trample. And they have to put... This is lethal, right? I'm not messing this up. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Because they would need to be able to put 10 in front of these two for 1 damage not to trample through. And if they put 10 in front of them, then they have 1 less blocker for these two. Right? If they block those two, if they block that there, block that, and they have to do it very awkwardly as well. So that goes there, that goes there, that's still 1 through, that goes there, that's still 1 through. I'm pretty sure this is right, if I haven't mismathed. Because one of these has to be done, like this has to be double blocked, basically. And it's not even lethal on the swing back, so. Yeah, that's not good enough. It's not actually GG, but. Because they can pump. I missed the pump. I missed the pump. It's fine. Everything is still fine. Everything is still fine. I GG'd them early, but everything is fine, I think. I deserve to lose at this point. If they top deck something and they have that pretty early GG, oh gosh, I deserve to lose entirely there. I forgot, or I didn't count their mana properly. Whoops. I think it was still correct regardless, or at least I think maybe the correct thing would have been to just attack with the Tramplers because they didn't have any good blocks on the Tramplers, but. They're at 1 and they don't have a board, so. Or they have less of a board. Anyways, we still didn't get to play Kinbinding that game. I need to put another Plains in this deck. Yep, I mean, we have a turn 3 Recluse, and we're finally on the play! I've been asking for this all night. Put me on the play. Let me do it. Now, we'll probably... Something stupid will happen and we probably won't draw a land. Never mind, we actually draw a land. Cool. So, there's nothing negative that I can say right now about the deck. And how it's about to perform, so... Maybe we're going to keep drawing land. Maybe that's the curse this game. Maybe the curse is that I will only draw land. Them replaying that as their turn... seems pretty good. I even have all the mana that I need. The Kinbinding. So Rhyme Speaker's a lot better when they have nothing on board, because now I think the only thing that can remove it is Liminal Hold. And that's annoying. I play this out, I can... No, I don't have the Convoke. I need to wait. I think I just play it now. There's no reason to wait until their turn. Like, I don't really get them in any way by making them wait, you know? They're just going to replay it anyway. I guess there's a world where... So I think we just Blossom Bind it, even though they'll get a token out of it. I'd rather them get one token than a million tokens. I guess I guess we can play Outrider first and see what we draw. Okay, yeah, I mean, that is a draw. We do this, then we swing in. It sucks, but whatever. GG. Turns out that was good enough. And this is the thing that I find really interesting about Lorwyn Eclipsed, is that for like all intents and purposes, our deck right here is not particularly tribal. We don't have more than 6 of any particular creature type. In fact, yeah, 5 elementals, 5 Kithkin. I don't... Actually, that's mostly our sideboard. But anyways, the point is our deck doesn't have that much going on in terms of types, like creature types, specific creature types for Lorwyn. So, like, there's a lot of really interesting decks that you can draft in this format when you sort of step back from forcing your way into a specific archetype every time. And I found that there's lots of very interesting... Like, we've had some cool decks that are just, like, mostly giants. Not intentionally, but just because they're all a bunch of good cards. You can definitely just draft good card stuff in this format and have it work out. But, of course, we're back on the draw. I think this hand is in need of a desperate need of a land, but we do have the turn 2 drop. We have a turn 3 drop. We have a turn 4 drop. And we can invoke this out if we need to at some point. Or if we want to, rather. So we did hit the land, but it's the wrong kind of land. I hit the spike. They're super aggro, cool. This is unfortunate. I need a land here. I don't even know if it's going to be good enough. Like, I feel like they're just going to drop something for 4 mana and it's going to be hard to deal with. Okay, that's not as bad. That's just a 1/4. That is horrible, though. That is bad. What do I have? Like, this is one of the big problems with this deck. I don't think I have, like, any rule. I have a couple of ways to bounce things, but actual removal, I have one Blossom. Oh, I have an Insert Perfection. Obviously, we could play the Kinbinding out, get that going. It's going to not work out super well for me in the long run, but the alternative play is we play out the Pummeler for higher. If it lives, we can Guilt Leaf Embrace the next turn and trade with this. We'll have taken 5 damage. Or we could, like, double block the Erdu. Maybe that's fine. But I think Kinbinding does more for me in sort of the best case scenario here. See, this is a tough choice. I don't know. I don't know what's right. He's getting a bunch of 1/1s out. Feels pretty good. But I think this is probably the better choice. Okay. Perfect. We have an answer. They're going to gain 5 life, but we have an answer. I wonder if they flip it. They did not flip it. They didn't want to give all of their creatures persist. Easter of Wares. I don't really care about either of these. Now, 2 of them. Okay, this is awkward because what the fuck, first of all? What the fuck is this deck? I don't care that I'm swearing about this, but like, I think I have to give them Kinbinding here. Well, actually, I don't. I don't have to. I don't know if this is right. Because the only way this fails me is if they actually have removal. And I feel like they might not have removal. And I think my best chance to win this is them not having removal. That's really interesting. Their deck is absolutely crazy. I think we just played Kinbinding to draw a card here and figure out what to do when they actually attack me. Because I could do this and I could do that. And that's okay, but I think dropping... I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you Blossom Bind now and drop the Stompling? No, I think you have to do this. And get the extra card. Like, our board is horrible here. I forgot. I didn't consider the fact that he could flip the... I do. Okay, so that explains why they didn't take the Blossom Bind. That makes a lot more sense now. Doing this will make us take another 4 damage. We'll go down to 6 here, and then we're probably just dead next turn. Yeah, whatever. Because obviously I can't let them persist the Taster of Wares this turn, or I'm just going to get eaten by Erdu. And now this turn I can get hit by the Taster of Wares again. Like, I think they might just have lethal either ways, especially if they top deck removal or something, but who knows? I think this is the best way that we play this, really. He's like, no matter what, this is going to come back and do 4 damage to me. If I let it do another 3 damage to me, then I'm just in a... Okay! Okay, buddy. What am I even playing against? This is just disgusting. And I'm just dead. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. Our opponent's deck was just absurd. Absolutely absurd. Take my island. Take my nothing. Yep, we're at 1. I mean, this was a way to lose, I guess. It is what it is. That was just some crazy deck, unfortunately. Did we get 4 wins, I think? 4 wins, honestly, I'm fine with 4 wins. Because this deck did not look particularly great at the end of the draft. We somehow just like didn't see any white cards or green cards in pack 1 and pack 3. The signals were totally weird, and I might have misread things, but I think that there were just some really strange drafts that were going on and some poor decisions some other people at the table were making, and that's the excuse I will use for the rest of my life. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll be back with some more drafts at some point. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Have a good day.